Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet. My name is Jason and today we are back with some more of the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Last time we got Odro into a little bit of trouble, and we've gotten him arrested, so he is no longer in Caldera. Now I'm very curious. I should have checked before we left Caldera. I'm very curious to see if he's actually in the dungeon, if he's in the lockup back in Caldera, and that's something I want to go ahead and check. But since we didn't have anyone else to really give us any orders, I figured we'd go back to see Mr. Curio and see if he's got any more orders for us. And on our travels, if we happen to go by Caldera, I really want to go by their dungeon, by the fort there, and see if Mr. Odro is locked up there. We also looked at the alchemy exploit in the last outing, and I explained. I didn't explain. Well, I very poorly explained, but I showed off how that works and how that can be abused.
Go ahead, Outlander.
So, anyways, let's go talk to Mr. Curio and see if we've got any further, we'll say, advancement opportunities. Hello, Crassus Curio. How are you doing?
Odro asked you to deliver a shipment of ebony.
Yeah, I finished that.
You did well, my little pudding pie. Pudding pie?
Oh, one of those days again. It seems like every single day is one of those days.
Odro is now on a prison ship.
Darn it! No! I wanted to see him in Caldera.
The same situation you found yourself in when you first came here. Take these little rings, sweetie. They'll look good on you.
Dire Shardbolt ring and an eye maze ring. Now, Dire Shardbolt ring, yeah, I get to shoot shard bolts. Whoop-de-doo. But the eye maze ring, that's something I am curious about. So let's first look at the one that we already know what it is. The Dire Shardbolt the Shardbolt breaking sorry. Ring. Frost. Oh, I'm wrong. It's frost damage, 5 to 11 points on target. On target. So that's wait, no, that's not touch. Okay, so that is range. It's not the best. I guess it depends on how many charges it's got. Now it says 2. So if I'm remembering correctly, wait, 195 2. Does this mean I have wait? All right, I'm kind of confused by this because all these here tend to have like chance of 1 with like 100 charges or something. Like, so for example, if I were to say, Shadow Mask ring, let's go. Oh, when you click on it, it actually gives you the actual cost. So when we click on the Dire Shardbolt ring, we get the actual cost of 2. Does it keep it? Yeah, it does. That is so interesting. It doesn't show you the actual cost of the item until you've actually clicked on it. I think that's kind of a bug, I guess. It's just not updated. Interesting that the second belt of Jack of Trades can't be selected until I've used this one here. But there we go. Now we got all the charges, and I believe they stopped updating. Yeah, so it's like they reset back to 1/whatever. Interesting. Well, whatever. 250, so that means I can get about 7 shots off with this ring before it runs out of energy. The eye maze ring. Yeah, like I need another one of these. Chameleon 10 to 40% for 10 seconds on stealth. If I were to stack all of my stealthy rings, I'm kind of curious what kind of chameleon I could get. Let me see. Let me do some quick math. All right, so I've got about 3 different items on me that allow me to cast Chameleon, which has a potential maximum of 144% Chameleon, which is pretty great. Anyways, Mr. Crassus Curio, could we please talk about advancement?
Congratulations, Dumpling. You've earned the rank of House Cousin. Wink.
I make myself cringe. Any further advancement? I'm not liking House Cousin too much.
Congratulations, Dumpling. You've earned the rank of House Brother.
Well, I'm not exactly a dude, but sure, okay, I'll take the title.
Advancement again, maybe? You've done everything you need to do for the rank of House Father, Dumpling, except build a stronghold. Go talk to Dondo's Driller? At the Hlaalu Council Manor in Balmora. He'll tell you everything you need to do, Pudding. Alright, let me talk business. Interesting. So we've got a branch here. We could continue working for Crassius, or we could go ahead and talk to, sorry, what's the name? Where's the person? Dondo's Driller. At the house, so back in Balmora. But we've also got this here. Now that you've had some experience in ebony smuggling, Pudding Pie, I want you to look for Velfred the Outlaw. Alright, I'll bite. I want to finish all of Crassius' stuff before I go back to Balmora. He's been a very naughty boy, smuggling ebony without paying House Hlaalu the proper respect. I'm sure you can turn your sweet charms on him and make him respect House Hlaalu. And if he won't listen, you know what to do, Pudding. He usually docks at Hla Oad, or Oad. I still don't know how I'm supposed to say that. Respect House Hlaalu. Yes, once you find Velfred, you'll need to convince him to show us some more respect. If he gives you any trouble, don't hesitate to rough him up a little, or even kill him. Whatever, he's a smuggler. Right? Is he a smuggler? I think he is. He's an outlaw, doesn't matter. Anyways. Alright, so we're heading to Hla Oad. Oad. There we go. Oad. Hla Oad. Whatever. So we're gonna head off over in that direction. That is over by that is actually kind of over by Balmora, is it not? Yes. We would have to pass Balmora. I like that they're directing me back into that region. No, I don't want to put a note. I want to hit world. I apparently suck at clicking the mouse. Balmora, right down here. Now this reminds me, the work here in Cartag Point has got to be done by now, right? Or have I been so frugal with my resting that it's just not? Let's see, day 60. So we're on day 60. When did he start building that statue? Okay, right here. Alright, so I have returned to Duma Grolot with the items he required to recreate the Shrine of Boethia. He seemed excited to begin, but warned me it could take some weeks to complete. So how many weeks is that? Because that's day 39. So let's see. Let me do some very basic math. Okay, so if on day 39 we got the request, and we are currently on day 60. Let me see, that would mean that there has been at least about 21 days, right? Right, yes, okay, brain, thank you. Which means the first week would have been at day 46, the second week would have been at day 53, and the third week would be day 60. So that would mean that today would be the third week. So either we're going to get a notification very shortly in our journal that we need to go back and check on that over on Cartag Point for the work on that statue. Remember that we had commissioned an orc to go ahead and to build a big statue to Boethia. Boethia, however you want to pronounce that. So, you know, he started working on that, but we've been having to wait. So, since we're heading over in that region, I think it would be, maybe cool to go check on things, but if I remember correctly, you do need to wait for a journal entry. A journal entry will, appear, telling you, hey, I should probably go check on that. And then you can go back and check on it. Alright, I made the strange decision to run to Balmora rather than take the Silt Strider. Now, the reason for this, because me and, you know how curious I can be. I was curious. I'm like, let's see, let's take a look at the time. 3 a.m. I don't remember what time it was when I left, but I know it'll be in the video and I'll be able to get that information and do the math. But I was curious if, how fast the Silt Strider was, if the Silt Strider was any faster than me running manually. Let's take a ride back. Let's travel back to Vivek. So we're a special trip just for 7 a.m. So it takes about 4 hours via Silt Strider to get between
Vivek and Balmora. So, what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to take a look at my video after and take a look at what time it was when I was checking the dates for the whole shrine. And once I've gone ahead and I've got that starting time, I can say, okay, now do some basic math and see if we can calculate, we'll say, the traveling speed of the Silt Strider. Roughly, of course, because, with those large legs, I'm assuming it's a little bit more prone to climbing over mountains rather than taking the path. But, it'll be something interesting that I want. It's something I wanted to calculate. I was like, I'm curious, which is faster? Not to say it necessarily from a player's perspective, but from within the game world. Is running along at a speed of 100 and an athletics skill of 44. Is that on par with a Silt Strider in game, or is a Silt Strider still faster than that? I don't know. That's just something I think would be fun to check on. So we want to head off to Hla Oad. Now I know by going up to the Odai Plateau we can take a shortcut over top of the mountain to get there. So that's basically what we're going to do now. One more observation, because as I was going along, I was like, traveling through the towns, and I went through Pelagiad, and a lot of the earlier videos, I lamented about being able to pronounce that particular town correctly, and I kind of just sort of settled on one that sounds right, and it just became more natural to just sort of say it that way. And this is actually now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, this is a very stupid point. But I was going to say, I think that given enough time, we can sort of work out which just sounds natural. But then again, what sounds natural is not always the correct pronunciation. Chitin, chitin, whatever. Enough of that. We are now in Hla Oad. Now I don't know where we're gonna find this fellow, but it's not a very large town, village, little place, settlement. So I'm not expecting it's going to be very difficult to find Velfred the Outlaw. So maybe I can talk to a random person here, or maybe you could inform me of where I could find Velfred the Outlaw. His ship is the Greatwake. Velfred never docks in Hla Oad, but he sells goods here from time to time. He must have another dock near here. Interesting.
All right.
So he's got a ship, and that's where he stays on, but he doesn't dock here. So we've got to find another dock near here that he.
What is this about?
Unless you have like a tavern or a little inn or something that maybe he's staying at. It sounds like we might have to go find another, we'll say, docking point for him, where we could find him on his ship. Fat Lake's drop off. Oh yeah, I remember you guys. I remember those guys. That was when I was trying to steal something, I believe, from the Thieves Guild. I don't know why I came into your house. Sorry. Impulsive. Yeah, we were trying to steal something, and we were getting beat up while doing it. I remember that was much earlier in the playthrough. Okay, so we need to find his ship.
How can I help you out there? Go ahead.
Where could we find his ship? Now, thanks to the loveliness of distant lands, of being able to see further, it should make finding his ship a lot easier. Like, there it is right over there. Actually, I don't think it really would have made things that much easier, but it does make it easier. That's something I've talked a little bit about, that Cliff Racer saw me. Yeah, I need a, restore fatigue. The graphical mods, it's largely cosmetic, but I think people will say, underestimate how much of an impact, even on gameplay, cosmetic can be. Even if, like, it can range from great to minor. Like, in the case of Morrowind, I feel like adding draw distance significantly does change the exploration of the game from its original you know, the way it was originally. But, you know, even small mods can alter, you know, even your reaction time to things, because, you know, the human brain processes some colors quicker than others. So just depending on how the mod is done, you know, it can have an impact, even if it's a small one. Velfred the Outlaw, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. What can I do for you?
Well,
I need you to respect House Hlaalu. Why should I? I already pay half my profits to the Empire.
Yes, but see, we're trying to shake you down. Yeah, we guess we kind of are. Well, you see, we're in charge of this area, and see, there's kind of a double tax sort of thing, so I'm going to need you to just take this money and then give it back to me.
All right, I'll pay House Hlaalu the proper respects, but you better carry out your side of the deal.
All right, well, that was incredibly easy. You know, all things considered, I was like, all right. You know, that's one thing I like about, I do like in Morrowind that a lot of the quests have non-violent ways of completing them. You know, we can go ahead and use persuasion to kind of go ahead and to complete that. And see, here's where I'm a little torn. I like, I'm gonna remember to put a card up for this this video. I did a video on what I classified as RPGs. You know, how did I define what an RPG was? And then you know, I basically to sum up the video, if you don't feel like going ahead and watching that one, I outlined. I said that an RPG is a game where the character's ability to complete the tasks is more important than the player's ability to complete the tasks, and I do feel that Morrowind does fit that description, because you know, you could be aiming straight at an enemy and swinging that sword away, but if your character sucks with using a sword, you know, they're just not going to be able to do any damage. So to me, Morrowind and the way it is constructed, it is very much so an RPG. It's a role-playing game. It's more about your character than it is about the player. Now that said, it's kind of strange, because I've lauded that. I love that sort of that approach, or that way of that. I love that about the game. But I feel like maybe the persuasion, it could be a little bit more involved, because at least with combat, you know, you can choose your type of swing. You can choose if you're going to do a fast swing, a hard swing. You're going to choose if you want to do a chop, a slash, a thrust. You know, there are options for that. You know, your fatigue plays into that. There's many different mechanics that play into it that allow the player to have a little bit of say in how the combat goes. You know, even if it's just choosing the type of strike. It's still largely dependent upon the character. But the persuasion basically comes down to, you know, increase their disposition with you and then ask for what you want. And then it just works. And, you know, I don't think it's I'm not even sure what I would suggest as an alternative to that. I know for certain that it's not Oblivion's setup. Oblivion's persuasion system was absolutely just broken, and quite frankly, I think it's garbage. But you know, we'll have all of Oblivion to talk about that. But I don't really think Morrowind's is. Well, it is better, but I don't think it's that much better, if we're being honest. And now that I think about it, I could have probably just waited to travel to Vivek until after I had completed the quest, but
Why
whatever.
walk when you can ride?
Why walk when I can ride? Well, I'm going to be doing the math, you know, off screen, and we'll find out if maybe there is a reason why I would walk over riding. I'd like to go here. That's why I came here. Sunset. Anyways, so yeah, like I'm not sure what I would rather see for a persuasion system. I know this one works in the sense that, you know, it's RPG-ish. It does take into account your skills and your attributes. But it would be kind of nice if there was maybe a little bit more to it, especially with the amount of. I think that's what really highlights it. In Morrowind, there's a lot of non-violent ways to accomplish goals, but yet the persuasion system itself is very just flat. And I think that if most of the game was combat, then I'd say, okay, it's fine. But there are a lot of quests that allow you to, try to persuade people. And because of that, I think that, if the persuasion system was maybe added a little bit of depth to it, it would have gone a long way to making Morrowind even an even better game than what I feel it is. So we've gone ahead and we've completed that quest. We're going to go back and talk to Mr. Curio. Okay. I hate that when I look at the map, because it's divided into cells, it still technically considers me in Redoran, the Redoran section of Vivek, even though we are on the Hlaalu section. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to go talk to Mr. Curio, and we'll see. I'm kind of curious how many more quests he has for me. Because, he's already mentioned the Stronghold, so we know the Stronghold quests are kind of on the table now. So, I don't know.
I'd be happy to talk. My pleasure, really.
I love how my voice for Crassus Curio is not at all his voice. He sounds like, standard Imperial, but when I get behind his voice, it's like, have you found Velfred the Outlaw? I'm sorry, Crassus. I'm so glad you convinced him to pay us respects, Dumpling. Please accept this gift of 1,000 drakes. Why, thank you, Uncle Curio. Do we have any more business to discuss? I know how you know how I feel about you, but I just can't discuss business with you right now. Have you checked your advancement in Hlaalu, Dumpling? You also need to build yourself a stronghold. Yes, alright, we are done with Crassus Curio for the time being. I believe we will come back to him later. But now we have reached the Stronghold quests. Yes. So, I've mentioned it before, but basically, by the end of House Hlaalu, or at least near the end, roughly, well, where we are right now, we're going to need to go back to Balmora, and I believe there's 3 separate quests. And after completing those quests, we will have a whole little sort of stronghold. It's our own place. That will be considered our official home. That's basically we have our own bed. It doesn't have our name on it. That's one thing that always sort of upset me after I went ahead and went through all the work. It's not scripted in that it has like your name on it or anything like that, but it is understood that that is your stronghold. That is where you live. So, we can start, moving in some of our belongings and using that as our own personal space. If I recall correctly, there are still some areas that you can't take stuff from because it's considered stealing, because you do have servants and people who live there with you. So technically they have their own belongings as well, but it's your stronghold. It's our house. It will be our official house. I'm really excited for that. So let's head on back to Balmora, and we will, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to get that started. We'll see. Silt Strider guy, get us there now!
Your athletic skill increased to 45.
I gotta redo the test now with the Silt Strider, because I gotta see if the Silt Strider is faster than someone with an athletic skill of 45. Alright, who did I need to talk to about the, oh crap. I don't know. It's probably you. Is it you? That doesn't look like the right name. Crap. Let me see if I can guess which one it was based on— oh, there we go. Dondos Dryler. Yes,
Welcome,
indeed.
Friend. Are you the one I've heard talk about?
I'm sure I am.
Are you looking for me? Do you want to build a stronghold? If only I could greet people like that. Just go out on the street and, are you looking for me? Do you want to build a stronghold? If you want to build a stronghold, I must have a construction contract and a land deed. Baron Allet at the Hlaalu Vaults in Vivek can provide you with the land deed, but you must speak with Duke Vendom Dren to get the construction contract. Okay, so first things first, let's ask him about construction contract, because it came first. Only the Duke can issue construction contracts. All 3 great houses have been ignoring this rule recently, but I have been ordered to insist that all new stronghold Maybe there should be an S in the end there, buddy. Have the proper papers. Okay. So we need to go talk to Duke Vendom Dren. Where's he again? Crap. I don't remember where he... Would he be in Vivek? Duke Vendom Dren. Dren. I know. I feel like we've met this guy before. Crap. All right. We'll figure that out. And the land deed. Yes, you will need a land deed. Baron Allen at the Hlaalu Treasury can sell you one. Okay, only the Duke. Where is the Duke? Crap. I've run into him too, haven't I? I get the isn't he at like a stronghold himself? Like an Imperial one? All right, well, you know what? I am out of time. Next time we're going to actually start. I'm excited about this. We're going to start the Stronghold quest for House Hlaalu. That's going to be awesome. So, we'll have to I know where Baron Allen is. We've run into Baron Allen. We've crossed paths with him a few times. So that'll be our first stop. We're going to stop the Hlaalu's treasury to talk to him, and then I'm going to have to remember where the Duke is. Yeah. Anyways, if you liked the video, you liked the content, and you would like to see more of it, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, we'll go ahead and leave it a thumbs down. Either way, let me know what you thought in the comments section. And until next time, I'd like to ask you all to game on.